Hello, Roy. This is Harriet.
Excuse me?
Harriet Bird, silly.
How did you know I was staying at this hotel?
Will you be the best there ever was in the game?
That's right.
The shot, the iconic shot, which is emblazoned in all our minds, those of us that were around that day and were reporting that day, of planes hitting the tower. How do you explain that?
It may have been inside the building or just outside the building when it came tumbling down. We want to bring in Mark Walsh, who's a freelancer for Fox.
I witnessed the entire thing from beginning to end.
On this week's episode, we'll be talking about the truly bizarre incident that occurred on June 14th, 1949, when Philadelphia Phillies first baseman Eddie Waitkus was shot by an obsessed female fan.
On the morning of June 14th, several members of Congress began their day on the baseball diamond, practicing for one of this town's greatest traditions, the annual charity congressional baseball game. It was just another beautiful morning until the familiar sounds of baseball were suddenly interrupted by loud, vicious gunfire.
Opened fire. 5 people, including Republican Congressman Steve Scalise of Louisiana, were shot at a congressional baseball practice in Alexandria, Virginia. Scalise is the House Majority Whip and is currently in critical condition.
We'll then share with you his miraculous recovery and return to baseball that later inspired the novel and movie The Natural.
Pictures so real you won't believe your eyes.
Anything he wants to hit, he hits. I've never seen anything like it. No, it's incredible.
I'm Roy Hobbs, your new right fielder.
Go find Dr. Dizzy and suit up.
Number 11. That's a bad luck number. Don't go into that.
What about 9?
9? Well, you got me. 9 it is.
Losing is a disease. As contagious as polio, losing is a disease. As contagious as syphilis, losing is a disease. Now I want you to imagine you are on a ship at sea, on a vast, gently rocking.
Hobbs, get back in here!
Gently rocking. Gently rocking. Gently.
Where'd you get this?
I made it myself.
Dolby Prologic surround sound, so exciting your eyes won't believe your ears.
How about this lightning bolt?
The tree that I made it from was split open by lightning.
Try this one, Grandpa.
Right into the side of the Twin Tower, exploding through the other side.
Holy fuck!
Oh my God! Oh my God! Jesus fucking Christ!
The comment from the female immediately before the alleged plane reaches the towers could be significant.
What the hell is that?
She states, "What the hell is that?" Think carefully about this comment. If you live in New York, you will know what a plane looks like. In this clip, a plane lands too heavily, illustrating just how light and fragile a plane's structure is. If we slow down 2 of the alleged impact videos, what is seen here is not consistent with physical impact. The plane's wings would not slice through box section steel columns, which is what seems to occur. The wings would buckle or snap and debris would be seen falling to the ground. Some have described these impact dynamics as cartoon physics. The alleged plane shows barely any deceleration, which is also impossible. It's worth noting here, of all the video clips released showing the second impact filmed from the ground, of which there are more than 20, none were filmed by professional news media teams. Could their footage have shown more clearly the cartoon physics seen in the amateur clips? You might ask, how did the buildings get holes that are shaped like planes if the planes could not penetrate the steel columns? The Nordet clip of the North Tower sheds light on how this may have been done. Watch carefully. The alleged plane is seen to penetrate the building, and several seconds later something happens on the surface of the tower. I've stopped the action here. If we compare it with the 3D model, we can see this damage is in the position of the supposed wing hole and was created well after the alleged impact, thus creating the desired Roadrunner effect.
Surround sound so exciting your eyes won't believe your ears. The ultimate home cinema televisions from Philips, including 100 Hz flicker-free pictures and widescreens. Philips, let's make things better.
And then I witnessed both towers collapse, one first and then the second, mostly due to structural failure because the fire was just too intense.
So the question is, what were we looking at? I mean, do you believe that is that? Are they the same? Now I'm going to give you my current theory on this, and it's only a theory, and I'm prepared to change this theory. If anyone gives me new evidence or gives me a better theory, I'm prepared to debate this theory, right? But I've looked at all of the evidence, I've looked at all of these videos in detail, and my current theory is that there probably was something solid that was seen in the sky. I don't think it was a plane. So the most likely explanation, in my opinion, is that there was some solidness to it, but I suspect it was a missile. All right? And what we were actually seeing is some kind of fakery. People have called it a hologram. I don't use that word. I don't know what they used. But I do not believe that there was a plane in the sky. I believe that we were being tricked by whatever was seen. Now, if we just go down the premise of my theory, and as I said, I'm prepared to debate this with anyone, and I'm prepared to change my view on it. And I'm not the first person to suggest that it was a missile cloaked in an image, right? David Shaler in 2006, as far as I'm aware, was the first person to suggest this. And that was just before he had his funny turn.
Planes, FAA records, Federal Aviation Authority records, show that Flight 11 and Flight 77 didn't even take off that day. And where's all the CCTV footage of these hijackers in the airports? There's no CCTV footage being released of them in the airports where the planes took off.
So I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself, but the shot, the iconic shot, which is emblazoned in all our minds, those of us that were around that day and were reporting that day, of planes hitting the tower, how do you explain that?
Well, I would say to anybody, look at that footage, slow it down, and come to your own conclusions. But I very firmly believe that what you're seeing there is not consistent with the damage of a plane going into a building. But people have got to make their own minds up.
On the evening of September 11, 2001, after the world witnessed the tragic collapse of the World Trade Centers, a nearby building mysteriously collapsed, the WTC-7. How did this almost perfect-looking building collapse? The key to this mystery lies in this video footage. Did you notice a sharp V-shaped dent at the top of the building well before the main collapse? This was the penthouse of WTC-7. Exactly below this dent, you'll be able to observe the three main columns of the building. You can conclude that this dent happened simply because these three columns collapsed.